Okay, so in our last conversation, we talked about the meaning of the word Agor and Gore. And we also, you were saying that traditionally, Agori is used to find incredibly remote places to do the practice where nobody would see them. And also now, in places like Pashupatinath and Varanasi, I mean, they're so busy. There's so many people here. It's almost impossible
Yeah.
to have any kind of privacy unless, I guess, you get up really early.
Yeah, and that is also difficult to, because that kind of Gori sadhana is, as I had explained that time, and it has to be in that way.
Yeah. Naked
Yes.
and
without
in
anything.
private.
Yes.
Mm.
Because nakedness is important, Because why it is important is like this thing also people need to understand, why sadhus become naked, why there are Naga sadhus, and why there are so many like sadhus who are practicing naked. Like if you see the Jains, yeah,
The Jains?
the Jains,
Yeah.
right? The Tirthankaras, all the Jains. And you see like their practice also like once they renounce, right, and then go into this practice, then they remain naked,
Yeah.
and they walk around naked, so that is a sadhana for ourself, being naked enhances us to realize our those qualities which are evil in us,
The
like
poisonous
yeah,
emotions.
emotions which are very, harmful also. Like,
Hatred,
yes, like
anger,
hatred,
prejudice,
yes, all
greed,
these
all
things
of
are
the,
there,
yeah.
right? And besides that, the most important part is about sex,
Mm.
you know, because that is to diminish and dissolve those, unfavorable sexual desires
Right.
that arise in people's mind. So when a person becomes naked, then so everyone will see him, right? His emotions will be clearly not be hidden by our clothes. Our emotions
Right.
are hidden by what we wear, right?
Ah.
And people cannot say what's happening. But when person is naked, then you can easily guess his emotions very easily. And plus, so it becomes very easy for the practitioner to overcome all this sexual, desires, and yeah, to overcome this kind of a rush.
Mm.
So that practice helps them to dissolve this,
Right.
slowly, and forget about it, and it does not affect them afterwards. So it's actually, it has a reason, and
Right.
which is a good reason for a practitioner, right? So Agori is also with the same thing, like being naked means like you're not trying to expose to the world something that the world doesn't want to see, right? For Agori is being naked, and that also in isolated places means like they are regarding and having respect for the society.
Mm.
They're not coming in the society naked.
Right.
You see, so because of that, they want to hide away and be on their own, not get disturbed at all,
Right.
and gather more energy and whatever they are doing, meditation, and sadhanas, whatever, right, or whatever tantras they are practicing. So it's for that.
Right.
Right.
And within, like the Nath Sampradaya and even just the Aghori lineage, each yogi has a different sadhana, right? Like it's not like everybody has to do the same thing. It really depends on who they are, the nature of their mind, what the guru gives them, right?
Right. So it's like that because in Sampradaya it's like everyone has their own prayers and rituals. Like whoever joins us then have to know these things, right? Like something kind of an essential thing, right? So like every yogi needs to know the basic things. So they need to learn the basics of their own family, how it is, and
Yeah.
what mantras they're using, what they're doing. So that is kind of a basic thing. Then after that, it is your wish. What do you want to practice? What do you want to do? How you want to go through the rest of after your initiations. Then how you are going to bend your life, mend it. So it's like that actually. Everyone has the freedom to choose what they want to practice.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know Aghoris who are, practicing in a fairly serious traditional way in these degenerate times?
No, not exactly, but I have met one of them like this, and who was totally refusing to express everything about what he was doing, and
You mean he was keeping it a secret?
yeah, like
Because
he was
these
keeping
practices
it,
are
he's
secret.
keeping it to himself,
Right.
and not revealing the places where he practices.
Right.
You see? And he wasn't bothered about anything, not even eating food.
Right.
A real practitioner, like. So, and he was something like you could see his aura, you see,
Right.
like bright aura. You
Right.
could see his face, the energy that he retains within his body after this practice. And and he was also practicing yoga too, with his Agori practice.
You mean yoga asana
Yeah, the asanas, certain asanas.
and pranayama?
Yeah, pranayama and going into meditation
Right.
most of the time. So that was quite a beautiful person who was an Agori, the real Agori, and a very sweet person. But he knew how to keep himself away, keep his distance.
Right.
You know.
And what's the important...
And not talking too much also.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
most of the time silent, And no wrath, no anger, no, wishes, actions,
Right.
not violent.
Yeah.
So you could easily see this person is a tapasvi. He is on the path,
Right.
and he's alone.
Yeah.
And he depends on himself and doesn't depend on anybody else. Yeah, and besides that, I have met many Agoris, but most of the Agoris are mostly interested in Tantra practice.
Right.
Instead of going into liberating yourself and
Moksha.
for moksha and everything.
Right.
But instead of them, they're wasting their time doing all Tantra.
They want cities.
Yeah, siddhi in Tantra practice.
Right.
So most of them are mostly engrossed in this kind of practices. And that is like mostly Tantra. Yeah, Tantra is good also because it is very helpful for people when it is applied in the right karma. Because a person who's practicing Tantra and has become a tantric, then he has to know the karma. He has to be very careful of his own karma, what he is doing. He should not fall for greed, because this is what is happening. So like they learn this art. It's an art, it's nothing else.
Right.
Then once they know this art, then they fall into greed, and they will do anything.
Yeah. For money.
Yes, for money. So there you see the karma has gone all haywire
Right.
and wrong. And obviously the person will have to pay for what he has done, right?
Right.
So mostly I've seen like this practice.
And Ramnath Aghori was both tantric
Yeah, he was
and Aghori, not
he had a
yogi.
tantric guru.
Right.
So, and he practiced tantra, and so he had this art with him, so he could do a lot of things with his tantra siddhis that he had practiced with himself. Yeah. And he was, one thing was like he was a seeker, like he really wanted to know what was the real thing. Yeah. So, and once he came to Pasupati and he stayed in Pasupati and then did a lot of things, even reached out to the royal families, and encouraged the king, that is especially Mahendra, King Mahendra. He was encouraged by Ramnath to serve his country.
To build roads.
Yeah, for when he came, he told him straight away, what kind of road I have to come through to your kingdom. So there are no good roads to reach your kingdom. No roads. So what are you? Are you a king or you're just
And it's
a
like the
showpiece?
50s and it's still medieval, right? Adesh.
So, yeah, excuse me, we're recording.